What if you had a superpower? You know, the ability to tell with confidence when someone's not being straight with you? Well, today, we're gonna dive into how you can actually learn that skill.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful thought, right? To just have that clarity, to see right through the deception. And look, this isn't about becoming some super suspicious person. It's really about gaining a much deeper level of understanding in all your interactions.
So, do any of these hit home for you? Maybe you're missing out on sales because you just can't get a read on your customers. Or hey, maybe you want to strengthen your relationships by really understanding your partner. Have you ever had that gut feeling, that sense that you've just been lied to, but you couldn't prove it? Or maybe you're even thinking about a whole new career as a lie detection practitioner. These everyday doubts, they can have a massive impact.
And that's the thing. It's not just about those awkward moments. When you can't spot a lie, there are real hidden costs. We're talking about things that can seriously affect your career, your personal life, the whole shebang.
So, you really end up at a fork in the road. You can see it right here. On one path, you've got the unseen costs. You jump to the wrong conclusions. Trust gets broken. You miss out on huge opportunities. But on the other path, that's the expert advantage. You get crystal clear insight. You build stronger, more real relationships. And your career, it starts to take off.
Okay, so how do you get on that second path? The one with the clear insight and the stronger relationships? Well, the answer isn't just, trusting your gut or some kind of vague intuition. Nope, it's science. And here's the solution. It's a program called the Certified Lie Detection Practitioner, and it's designed to train you to be a qualified practitioner. Check out the key phrases here: interrogation techniques and hands-on practical sessions. This isn't just theory. We're talking about active learning, building skills you can use in the real world right away.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Everything, and I mean everything, in these techniques is based on a scientific approach. It's not magic. It's a system, a real methodology that you can learn, you can practice, and you can absolutely master.
Yeah, and you can just forget about sitting through long, boring lectures. The way you learn here is super dynamic. You're going to be digging into real case studies, getting involved in forum discussions, doing role plays, presentations, even gamification to really sharpen those skills. It's all about doing, not just sitting there and listening. All right, so that's the how. But what about the what? What are you actually going to learn? Let's pull back the curtain and take a look inside this program.
This whole thing is a 4-day transformation. It's intense, but it's structured. Day 1, you dive into the world of deception. Day 2 is all about decoding body language. Then, Day 3, you analyze the actual language of a lie. And on Day 4, you put it all together. You're mastering interrogation and reporting. See? It's a clear path from the basics all the way to expert-level application.
And your journey starts in what they call the Amazon jungle of deception. I love that description. It's this deep dive to understand the truth about lying, the psychology behind it, and that really sets the foundation for everything else you're about to learn. Okay, so remember this number, 9. Just 9. What's so special about the number 9 when it comes to spotting lies? Well, that's because you're going to master the 9 clues to deceit. And this isn't just some random list of tips you'd find online. It's a whole system. For instance, one of the clues is something called illustrators. You know, the hand gestures we all use when we talk? Now, when someone's telling the truth, those gestures are totally in sync with their words. But when they're lying, the brain is working so hard that there's often a tiny delay. The gesture comes just after the word. That little mismatch, that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And that's just one of the 9 clues you'll master in these hands-on sessions. And the key thing here is that it all fits into a process you can repeat time and time again. Step 1, you figure out the motivation to lie. Step 2, you spot those verbal and nonverbal cues like the illustrators we just talked about. Step 3 is super important. You analyze those cues in the right context so you don't jump to the wrong conclusion. And finally, step 4, you put it all together in a professional analysis.
And look, this goes way beyond just reading body language. You're also going to learn to really dissect the words people choose, and maybe even more importantly, how they say them. We're talking about those subtle changes in tone and pitch, the whole rhythm of their speech. Sometimes that tells you way more than the actual words ever could. So, you put all this intensive training together, and what do you get? A massive transformation. You literally go from being a learner to an expert. You walk away with this incredibly powerful new set of skills.
So what does that actually mean? It means you'll be able to confidently spot deception using both verbal and nonverbal cues. You'll know how to use professional interrogation techniques to get to the truth. You'll understand the psychology of a liar so you don't fall into common traps. And you'll even be able to prepare professional, court-ready reports. I mean, this is a serious pro-level skill set we're talking about. Now look, a skill like this is useful for pretty much anyone. But this program, specifically, is really designed for middle and senior management. It's for leaders who need that decisive edge, whether you're in a high-stakes negotiation, managing a team, or making huge strategic calls.
And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? The power to see things more clearly, to build stronger relationships, to make better, more informed decisions. It's right there. It's within your grasp. So the only question left is, are you ready to see the truth?